I'm back with our last lesson for the Heroes of the Faith series. But before we talk about Joshua, let's review where we've been in the last 12 weeks. We started out with a definition of faith, which said, faith is believing that God is working, even when you can't see it sometimes. And we started that with the story of creation. Just by looking at creation, we know that there is a God and that He is in control. By faith, Abel offered a better sacrifice than his brother Cain. By faith, Enoch was taken to heaven before he died because of his belief in God. By faith, Noah built a boat even when it had never rained before. By faith, Abraham obeyed and offered his son Isaac as a sacrifice, even when he wasn't sure if God was going to save him. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob when it really should have been Esau to receive the blessing. By faith, Jacob chose to believe that God had a wonderful plan for he and his family and chose God's way instead of his father-in-law Laban's way. By faith, Joseph believed that God was making something good out of a hard situation. By faith, Moses chose to let God take control and lead Israel from slavery out of Egypt instead of trying to do things his own way. By faith, Caleb said God is going to give us a victory in the land of Jericho, even when the other spies said that it wasn't going to happen. By faith, Caleb chose not to curse God's people and chose to do things God's way instead of choosing money. Now we're to Joshua. Let's learn about Joshua and what a man of faith he was. God chose Joshua to lead the nation and promised him that he would always be with him. After wandering for 40 years, it was time to take the promised land. Joshua sent 2 spies to the city of Jericho. A lady named Rahab hid the spies and helped them escape through a window in her house, a part of the city wall. They agreed to save her and her family only if she tied a red cord in the window. Across the Jordan River, the priests carried the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of where God was, and walked straight into the middle of the river. The river at flood stage miraculously piled upstream. Israel celebrated the Passover festival. Remember when they put the blood on the sheep on doorposts in Egypt to be saved? One day Joshua saw a man with drawn sword. He asked if he was on Israel's side or on their enemy's side. The man said that he was on neither side, but that he was the commander of the Lord's army. The man was Jesus. Israelites marched around the city and shouted. The walls fell except Rahab's house, and the Israelites burned the city. Rahab not only joined God's people, she became the great-great-grandmother of future King David and many more great-grandmother of Jesus. And Joshua led the nation for the rest of his life. Joshua left the children of Israel with a word of encouragement and a word of hope for the people of Israel. He said, "Choose you today who you will serve. But as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord God." Which one will you choose? Will you be Joshua?
Joshua 24, verse 15. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Who will serve the Lord? We will. Who will serve the Lord? We will. Who will serve the Lord? We will. Let me hear you sing it again. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We will serve the Lord. We will. We will serve the Lord.
Miss Becky and I hope you've enjoyed these lessons the last 12 weeks on Heroes of the Faith, and that your faith has been strengthened just as ours have. But even though we're done with this series, we're not done with the Bible. The next 4 weeks, we're going to have videos telling the good news of Jesus Christ called the Gospel, and we're going to be using the book that doesn't have any words. We may even have a guest join us. So I hope you can look forward to those videos really soon. And then on September 6th, we're back to face-to-face children's ministry at Elkridge. We're calling it Awana on Sunday mornings. We're so excited to be able to do children's ministry face-to-face. But we understand if some of you are choosing to stay home with your parents, and we'll have videos on YouTube for you as well. We hope to see you either face-to-face or by video very soon.